Have you ever wondered how the ancient Egyptians managed to treat their illnesses without the modern medical advancements we have today? This question takes us to the heart of the intriguing world of ancient Egyptian medicine, a field that, despite its antiquity, still holds significance today. The ancient Egyptians were not just builders of pyramids, but also pioneers in healthcare. Their medical practices were far from simple. Rooted deeply in their beliefs, mythology, and their understanding of the human body, these practices were a complex blend of the empirical and the spiritual. From the use of herbs and surgery to the invocation of gods, their approach to medicine was holistic. They believed in the interconnectedness of the physical and the spiritual, and this belief shaped their medical practices in remarkable ways. These practices, while mysterious to us, were the foundations of their society's health and well-being. Now let's journey back in time to unravel the mysteries of ancient Egyptian medicine. The ancient Egyptians were pioneers in many fields, and medicine was no exception. As we delve into the dawn of medicine in ancient Egypt, we find ourselves transported to a time when the human understanding of the body and its ailments was still in its infancy. In the earliest days of Egypt, medicine and spirituality were intimately interwoven. The priests, revered as the conduits between the divine and the mortal, also served as the primary healers of the society. Their knowledge of the human body was considered sacred, a divine gift bestowed upon them. These priest healers utilized a blend of what we would recognize today as practical medicine and spiritual rituals. They relied heavily on the use of herbs and natural remedies, understanding the importance of the natural world in maintaining health and curing disease. From simple ailments like coughs and colds to more complex conditions, they sought solutions in the flora around them. One of the most significant medical tools of the time was the Edwin Smith papyrus. This ancient document, thought to date back to the 16th century BC, is one of the oldest known medical texts. It offers a fascinating insight into the medical knowledge of the time, detailing 48 different cases of injuries, fractures, wounds, dislocations, and diseases. The text is remarkably methodical, with each case described in meticulous detail, followed by a diagnosis and treatment recommendation. It indicates that the Egyptians had a systematic approach to medicine, even in these early days. The Edwin Smith papyrus is a testament to their medical ingenuity and understanding, revealing a surprisingly advanced grasp of anatomy and physiology. What is truly remarkable about these early medical practices is that they were not simply one-off experiments, but rather they were part of a broader system of knowledge. This system was continually refined and expanded upon, forming the foundation upon which future generations of Egyptian physicians would build. These early practices laid the foundation for the evolution of medicine in ancient Egypt. As their civilization advanced, so did the Egyptians' understanding and practice of medicine. In the realm of surgery, the Egyptians were pioneers. They conducted various operations and procedures, from treating fractures to performing complex surgeries. Trepanation, a surgical intervention where a hole is drilled into the human skull, was performed in ancient Egypt. They also mastered the art of setting broken bones and even had a rudimentary understanding of infection control, often using honey as a topical antiseptic. The Egyptians were not only surgeons, but they were also dentists. They dealt with dental problems quite frequently, probably due to the grit and sand left in their bread which wore down their teeth. They developed methods for tooth extraction and even had a form of dental bridges. Gynecology, too, was a field where the Egyptians showed significant advancement. Ancient Egyptian medical papyri contained sections dedicated to fertility, pregnancy, and contraception. They had an understanding of the female reproductive system and even had methods to predict the gender of unborn children. The hieroglyphs and papyri are our main sources of understanding the medical practices of this ancient civilization. The Edwin Smith papyrus, for instance, is a detailed work on trauma surgery. It describes anatomical observations, the examination, diagnosis, treatment, and prognosis of various ailments. The Immerse papyrus, another important medical document, contains over 800 magical formulas and remedies, revealing their blend of magic and empirical medicine. It discusses treatments for various afflictions, including depression, diabetes, gallstones, and even heart diseases. The Kahun Gynecological Papyrus is the oldest known medical text of any kind. Dated to about 1800 BC, it deals with women's health, gynecological diseases, fertility, pregnancy, contraception, etc. Despite their limited technological resources, the ancient Egyptians made significant strides in the field of medicine. They developed a system of medical practices that were surprisingly advanced for their time, laying the groundwork for many modern medical techniques and understanding. This is a testament to their ingenious minds and their enduring legacy that continues to fascinate us to this day. Despite their limited technological resources, the ancient Egyptians made significant strides in the field of medicine. The legacy of ancient Egyptian medicine extends far beyond the pyramids and pharaohs. As we delve deeper into the annals of history, we find that the influence of ancient Egyptian medicine rings loud and clear across the ages. These wise healers of the Nile didn't just tend to their own. Their knowledge and techniques seeped into the medical practices of later civilizations, including the mighty Greeks and Romans. In the hallowed halls of the ancient Greek academies, scholars like Hippocrates and Galen studied the Egyptian medical papyri with reverence. They recognized the Egyptians' profound understanding of the human body and incorporated their observations and techniques into their own practices. The Egyptians' influence on Greek medicine was so profound that many consider the Greeks merely translators of the Egyptian medical wisdom. The ancient Romans, too, were beneficiaries of the Egyptians' medical prowess. The Roman medical tradition was heavily influenced by both the Greeks and Egyptians. In fact, many Roman physicians were either Greek or Egyptian. The Romans adopted the Egyptians' intricate surgical techniques, their use of medicinal plants, and their holistic approach to healing. But the legacy of ancient Egyptian medicine doesn't stop at the fall of the Roman Empire. Many of their treatments are still in use today. For instance, the use of honey as an antiseptic, a practice dating back to the Egyptians, is still recognized in modern medicine for its healing properties. Similarly, the ancient Egyptian technique of treating wounds with moldy bread, an early form of antibiotics, finds its echo in the discovery of penicillin in the 20th century. The ancient Egyptians were not just builders of grand monuments and creators of a vibrant civilization. They were also pioneers in the field of medicine, their wisdom echoing down the centuries, influencing generations of healers and shaping the course of medical history. The ancient Egyptians were not just builders of monuments, but also pioneers in the field of medicine. So, what can we learn from the medical practices of the ancient Egyptians? Well, they were pioneers, innovators. They were the ones who started it all, laying the groundwork for the medical marvels we have today. They approached medicine with curiosity, resourcefulness, and a profound respect for the natural world. Their remedies, derived from plants, animals, and minerals, were not just haphazard guesses, but the result of careful observation and diligent experimentation. Their understanding of anatomy, born from their religious practices, led to surgical procedures that were astonishingly advanced for their time. They were the first to recognize that our physical well-being is inherently connected to our mental and spiritual health, a concept that is gaining recognition in modern medicine. The ancient Egyptians turned their understanding of the world into a holistic approach to health, creating a legacy of medical knowledge that has stood the test of time. Hit that subscribe button and never miss out on new videos.